Right, back with you. Let's take it back to our courts now. The DA, Freedom Under Law and Corruption Watch say if impeached former judge Dr. John Hlophe is allowed to serve on the Judicial Service Commission, it would make a mockery of the rule of law. They are attempting to try and block his appointment to the body, which recommends candidates for judicial roles to the president. The former Western Cape judge president is accused of trying to influence Constitutional Court justices in a matter relating to former President Jacob Zuma. Malungelo Booi reports.
Dr. John Hlophe may not get to serve in the Judicial Service Commission, a body crucial in the appointment of the country's judges. The DA, Freedom Under Law and Corruption Watch are challenging his designation by the National Assembly to the JSC in the Western Cape High Court. They argue that Hlophe, who was impeached earlier this year in the National Assembly for gross misconduct, is not fit to serve on the commission.
Dr. Hlophe's participation in any judicial selection process will severely undermine the dignity of the JSC and the public confidence in its assessment of whether judicial candidates meet the fit and proper requirement prescribed by the Constitution.
Freedom Under Law insists the National Assembly failed in its duty to interrogate Hlophe's nomination by his party, MK, before designating him to the JSC.
They were required to consider whether the people nominated are suitable and the best candidates for the job. And lady, one shouldn't assume that they had to have a set procedure for making these nominations. If they didn't have a set procedure, then they should have followed an ad hoc procedure.
The DA insists the decision to even consider Hlophe to be on the JSC was irrational.
But the common sense position is the one I've just put to you. How can someone, and this just offends, it offends on the most basic of levels, and accepting rationality is the lowest standard. How can someone who's not fit to exercise an office be fit to appoint people to such office?
In her explanatory affidavit, National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza admits there were objections in Parliament to the inclusion of Hlophe on the list of MPs who will serve on the JSC.
The Assembly did depart from its previous practice by the Speaker calling for declarations. And that was done in accordance with the rules, and that's what followed. Now, in that debate, in that process of the declarations, the views that your Lordship has put to me were discussed in the debate on both sides.
The DA, Corruption Watch and Freedom Under Law maintain that MPs nominated to the JSC should instill public trust in the appointment of the country's judges. Senior counsels for the MK party and Dr. Hlophe will on Friday argue why this case should be dismissed. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Malungelo Booi in Cape Town.